Welcome, people. Welcome back to The Living Room. I'm Lori Faye.
Good morning. I'm Christine McCauley. Thank you for joining us.
And we have Morgan Maxwell, my original board biatch. She's back as a guest today. How are you, Morgan?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. I haven't seen you in forever.
I know, since the holidays.
And you're still gorgeous.
Oh,
How do you
thank
do it, goddammit? I said just to sit in the same room with her is like you have to have confidence because she's literally a model.
And
No, you
being
guys
25 helps, right?
Yeah.
24.
Sorry. How dare I?
2 more months.
How dare I?
Do not age her.
Got 2 more months left.
Whoops, we're hitting the mics. I just want to start off by saying Happy Hanukkah. One of my BFFs is Jewish. Actually, my original BFF is Jewish, and my male BFF is Jewish. So Happy Hanukkah to all of those of you who are celebrating Hanukkah. I'm not sure what day we're in. Third day of Hanukkah. So that means you got 3. And meanwhile, I have a Jewish guy in the room, and he has no clue because he's a bad boy. But I hope you people are getting your gifts and celebrating, and it's all fabulous for you. Us Catholic people are staring down like the guiltiest holiday of the world, right? It's like you got to buy the gifts, you got to spend the money, you got to cook the 7 fishes. No matter how old you get, it doesn't end.
And how are you coming with all of that? Because I am in a bad way with my
It's a lot of freaking pressure. I can't handle it.
It really is. and 10 days. It's December 15th. We have 10 days till Christmas.
And even with online shopping, it's like it's still a pressure because I'm trying to make a canvas, and on canvasworld.com, I don't know if anybody goes on there. It's like a fabulous website. And I've gotten a lot of gifts on there, but if you really care about what you're buying, it's a job. You know, I'm picking photos to make the canvas, and I'm like, nah, I don't like that. I mean, it would be easy if I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I've
used that website. That's a good website.
Really nice gifts.
Yeah.
But women care.
Women care.
And we want to make it all perfect. And we drive ourselves crazy running around to make the perfect decoration, the perfect food, and everything. Because as an Italian girl, and I'll say that because I am Italian, don't let the Macaulay fool you.
You're a real guinea under there.
You know, the food, the traditions, it makes me happier
I just
to
want
do
to point
that
out,
for others.
Christine decorated the set today for Christmas.
In about 5 minutes. And we're going to share some really quick appetizers and drinks for you later if you're crazed and you're having a few friends over. That will literally take 10 minutes to do.
That's what we need.
And most of these things that I brought here today to just make this arrangement are from the dollar store. So you can stick to a budget and make things look pretty. And quite honestly, if you clean your bathroom before that party, and that's about it, and maybe a quick dust and vacuum, put some pretty things around, nobody will notice if the cleaning service didn't get there.
Can you come do this at my house, please?
Yeah, I feel like I don't have this girl thing.
I don't have this thing. I mean, I do a few things, but not like this.
I mean, so easy.
Not like this.
It's a silver dollar store plate. Some greens I cut from outside. Always use what you have outside. You go outside and see what's there. When
Listen, Martha.
Dead of winter. I mean, a couple of pine cones that have been around for years. I pulled some poinsettias off a fake plant in my dining room this morning.
This is too cute.
Oh, look, a cute little thing. Some cranberries. I needed the candle to be taller. I didn't have a tall candle. Some cranberries in the bottom of a dollar store cylinder, dollar store. Fake candle.
I want to just ask you a question.
There you go.
What did I don't want to bash Dennis because you know I'm not about men bashing at all, but every now and then we have to point out what they do and what they don't do. Does your husband do anything for the holiday? Any prep at all?
No.
No.
No, you know, and I would never bash Dennis. My husband is Dennis. We're married 33 years, and I am a very, very fortunate girl. Anything I ask him to do, he will do. He is very helpful. No, I struggled with the lights and cursed while I did it.
You did.
But do you let him do it?
I would let him do it.
Or
I
does it have
get a
to
little
be perfect?
I do get a little obsessive. I'm not an obsessive person to begin with, but I'm a little particular.
I don't know about that, Christine. You look a little obsessive.
I'm a little particular when it comes to my pretty stuff. You know,
so he
I
doesn't
remember
do
the
anything.
kids when they were little, they would put their ornaments on the tree and all, and then when they were gone, I would move them all.
Listen, I refold the towels, so like, hi, my name is Lori.
Okay.
My son will do the laundry, like he'll fold towels and he'll put them in the closet, and I'm just like, Thank you so much. Literally taking every towel out and refolding it. I swear to God.
Okay. My towels are a mess.
I have a problem.
I think it's different personalities, different brain types.
I don't have either of these problems.
Yeah, well, you will in about 5 years. So basically, we're saying that the husbands really don't participate in a lot of the holiday duties. It mostly falls on the women, is basically what we're saying.
Mm-hmm. I think certainly when it comes to anything food-wise or decorating, now there are lots of men who are great chefs and all, or the cooks in the household, so I'm sure that they do contribute. But in my house, no, this type of thing is all me. But he'll go get the tree, he'll lug it, he'll get it in the stand, he'll go pick things up that I've ordered. I think we balance it pretty well, because this is my thing.
Yeah. Now, are you doing Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve will be with my in-laws.
That's what I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask, I'm a big Christmas Eve. Christmas Day was always kind of like an afterthought, because after you do a huge Christmas Eve with 24 people, you don't really have much left in you for Christmas Day, so it's more like you're rolling around on the couch Christmas Day.
Are you cooking the whole 7 fishes thing?
No, I'm not. Okay. Actually, I'm going out this year. This is a little bit of a turning point in my life, and I will not cry, but my first holiday without my grandfather, and he just passed away in July, and my parents have now become snowbirds, so it's like a different thing for me, and also, my brother's divorced now, so it's kind of like, everybody's separated. So Christmas Eve, we're going to do dinner out. And I'll give a shout out to Blackstone, because that's my favorite holiday place to go for dinner. Mm-hmm. We were there for Thanksgiving.
Good to know.
Great restaurant, great service, great food. And then I'm going to do Christmas Day, but I'm going to do it less traditional, more like a buffet, open house type situation. Because I'm also finding
we
that...
might come.
Yeah, come. My door is open anytime after 3. The thing is that I'm finding that, years ago, without going into I walked uphill to school both ways. Years ago, you didn't go out to dinner a lot. You didn't have a lot of money. You didn't buy champagne a lot. At least we didn't. My father was a cop, then got a promotion to become a detective. So basically, you can do the math on how I was living. It was a very nice life, but we didn't have a lot of money, so we weren't spending a lot of money going out. Mm-hmm. My mom and dad, my mother and my grandmother would cook a huge meal for Christmas Eve. Later on in life, we went out. But now I kind of feel like we all go out to eat a lot. My kids go out to eat a lot. Everybody, has access to fabulous food all the time. So Christmas Day, we don't need to actually sit there for 4 hours getting, service after service of food. Nobody really wants it.
Not anymore. That's what's changed.
Yeah.
And again, back to the Italian family thing.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's centered around food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, I do miss the Christmas Eve 7 fishes thing. My grandpa owned a fish store downtown Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
And we had everything. We would go into the city where my Aunt Ann and my 4 cousins, my Uncle Johnny, lived. And my Uncle Johnny, may he rest in peace, he ran the store after my grandpa passed. And we had so much. And,
food, right?
And that is so part of the tradition of growing up Italian and Catholic. And I will say I miss that, but that amount of food I cannot even conceive of now.
I remember after dinner just being like, oh my God, I can't even move.
Yep.
And nobody likes that anymore. Nobody wants to eat like that anymore.
Sign of the changing times with our health and
well, coming to the health part of it, I mean, we have so much food in my office. So the companies, the vendors send packages. They send the towers of food. Yesterday I woke up, I was feeling great, and I walked in the office and I got bagels. And then somebody had a big tower. I was eating the cookies. And by the end of the day, I was like, I just got sabotaged.
Sugar overload.
All day. It was sabotage all day.
Carb overload.
Yeah,
not good.
It was crazy.
Not
and
good.
You're not even hungry, but you're just like, oh, that looks good. I'll eat that. I'm literally eating garbage all day.
It's very
all
hard.
Day. Chocolate at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, very,
it was
very
crazy.
I've learned through the years when I overload on that stuff, I feel terrible for days.
Yeah.
And,
well, you have issues.
I do, and we'll do a show about that at some point. But
we all have issues, but she's got issues.
But I've learned that it's just not worth it. That bagel, that giant piece of cake with frosting, it just is not worth feeling sick for a few days afterwards.
So, and my thing is I'm working so hard to stay fit and be healthy that I don't mind a piece of cake, and I certainly indulge in everything in moderation. But when I overload, I feel like, what did I just do?
Exactly.
I just undid like my whole day's workout or whatever. I get mad at myself. I'm just like, oh, that was stupid.
You brought up
moderation.
Of course. And Lori brought up a great point last week, and it's one that I have tried to stick with, or I'm trying to.
The fact that she remembers what I said last week is shocking me.
Especially, yes. That 90-10 or 85-15, so 85% of the time, 90% of the time, you stick to a good plan, you eat clean, you eat healthy, and then 10 to 15% of the time, if you're at a party, have some potato chips and dip, have a little cheese.
Yeah, but it also goes back to like you're sitting at a restaurant and you ordered a great meal, and now you had the bread basket and you don't even want the meal, or the bread was bad and you gorged on it, and now you're like, I just blew like my whole dinner for bad bread. If it's good bread, though, I'm eating it.
Yeah.
Which goes back to other life lessons. So I wanted to share, I was out to dinner with a couple of girls last week, and I was sharing an experience in my life. And one of the girls that I was with was like, she really appreciated what I said. And so I thought it was worth repeating. I want to give a shout out again to the Massapequa Mamas group. I know they're supporting us in this endeavor, this show, and I know there's a lot of young girls in that group. And you're a young girl. I mean, we're a little older, so we've learned a few lessons throughout the last 25 years. But I wanted to talk about a lesson that I learned early on in my marriage, and it has stuck with me, and it has really helped me live the life that I live. One of the things. And I'll just call it a life lesson by Little Guys Gal. If anybody knows who I am, they know that I have a small business services company called Little Guys Gal, and I have a few little endeavors that are tagged with the Little Guys Gal because I pride myself on being a little guy. I have a lifestyle that I promote, and it's not promoted by a chef in Hollywood that I pay $300 an hour to make my food. So that's just a short synopsis of Little Guys Gal. But the lesson I wanted to share today was live within your means. And it goes back to when my grandfather, when I was younger and I used to work, and my grandfather, or as a kid, and my grandfather would give me $1 or $5. And he would say, you make $1, you spend 50 cents, you save 50 cents. That's the way I was raised. You make $5, you save $2.50, you spend $2.50. And the reason why I'm bringing this up around the holidays is many years ago when I was first married, we bought our house in Massapequa Park, and it was like one of our first Christmases together in the house. And my husband had bought me a beautiful necklace for Christmas. And it was like floating diamonds, hanging diamonds. It was beautiful. And he gave it to me, and we had gone out to dinner with a bunch of friends after Christmas, and I wore the necklace. Obviously, this is before I got the bill, okay? Because obviously, as husbands and wives, most of them share bills, share money, and you're in it together. So even when your husband buys you a gift, unless he's got access to thousands of dollars worth of cash, it ends up on a credit card someplace. So the necklace ended up on a credit card someplace, and I saw how much it was. And it was over $3,000. Yeah. And I didn't realize it was that expensive when I was wearing the necklace, and I went out to dinner with a bunch of girls, and we were all talking about what we got, and of course I'm sitting there really proud with this necklace on. And when I got the bill a month later, I said to my husband, I did not realize that gift was that much money, and I don't love it that much, and I want to bring it back. I said, for me to sit here and take this gift and wear it like I love it to death, and we can't afford it, it's going to take me 6 months to pay it off, I don't want it.
How did he feel about that?
He was actually probably relieved. I never really asked him. It was the decision I made. I said, I would rather you take the money that you spent on the necklace, and it's going to take me 6 months or 4 months or whatever it was to pay it off. We had just bought a house. I said, I'd rather you take that money and buy me stock. And at the time, Pfizer was very big. Because my grandmother-in-law had worked for Pfizer, and she used to pump the stock to us. So I said, do me a favor. Take the $500 a month, the $400 a month, and buy me stock. And that's exactly what he did. And so the life lesson that I just want to share is if you can't afford it, and it's going to take you 6 months to pay it off, and you just need to sit there and show something to your friends, maybe those aren't your people, and that's really not the way to live a successfully financial life. It's just not worth it. So I am so glad that I did that 23 years ago because it just set the standard for the holidays for my husband and I. We were going to buy something that we couldn't afford, we didn't buy it. So that's my little life lesson by Little Guys Gal.
You are one smart cookie there,
yeah,
Ms. Lori
and you know what? I
Fay.
have a really nice stock portfolio now. So
I bet you do. That's great. My father used to say we would get our dollar allowance every week, and he would hand us the dollar. You know, we're going back, almost 50 years ago here. He would hand us the dollar and say, "Now don't let it burn a hole in your pocket."
Exactly.
And guess what it did?
Burn the hole, yeah.
Right through those jeans.
I have a lot of money stories. I taught my kids how to manage money, but around the holidays it's tough because there's that pressure to show up, especially as a newly married young person or whatever. There's that pressure to show up with this fabulous gift. And if you can afford it and you're living that life and you have that money and you can afford what you're getting, I think it's great. But just to get it because it's a holiday and you don't even really want it.
But at the end of the day, who cares?
You know what? I don't care.
You're not going to go to the grave with that. Like, no one's going to be like, well, she had a great necklace.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
And that's not what you would want to
And
be
it's great.
remembered for.
You know what?
know.
I mean, like I said, I learned that many years ago, and that's how I live my life. I mean, it's good that you know that as a young girl, that you're
Yes.
not because I know plenty of girls charging stuff. I was big. I was at Henry Bendel, charging $700 shoes when I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's the life lesson by Little Guys Gal for today. I think we're gonna take a break and just remind you guys that it's time to file your property tax grievance. You should do it every year if you live in Nassau County. You don't necessarily have to file with our sponsors at My Tax, but they are a great company. But you should file a property tax grievance, whether you do it on your own, with a company. If you're not filing, there is a chance you could be paying more than your share. So we'll just bring up.
Given what we know about the benefits of filing a property tax grievance, experts agree it should be mandatory. Use a professional. Choose Zap My Tax. File at zapmytax.com. Deadline approaching.
Okay.
My son does all the laundry.
I think we're back.
We are back.
We
Oh,
are
my
back
goodness.
at the living room with Morgan Maxwell, Lori Fay, and Christine McCauley. Morgan and I go back a few months. Actually, we go back a few years.
Yeah,
Because
2015.
we have a history.
You always say that.
When God wants you to be in someone's life, He makes it happen. That's all I could say. Because Morgan asked me to do something for her, and I ended up not being able to do it. And I thought because I had to cancel on her that she was going to hate my guts. Lo and behold, she didn't hate my guts. And we ended up reconnecting, doing radio shows together. And now she's back as a guest and wants to share something very, very close to her heart.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, 5 years ago, I was in treatment for an eating disorder, a pretty serious one. So I was in treatment during the holidays. So it was a huge bummer to be, especially in a treatment center, but away from your family during the holidays. It was hard, going into a new year, you're not with your family, and you're depressed. So the year after that, I decided to set up a giveaway where the girls could at least find happiness in just the morning so they can open something and feel like someone cares about them. Because what a lot of people don't know about eating disorders is you have to really hate yourself to starve yourself to death. It is slow suicide, and you have to really be low. So a year after that, I set it up so they could, feel happy for just a moment. Years went by, and I was, working full time. It sounds horrible, but I just didn't have time. So this year, I decided I'm going to make time. And we're going to bring it back. So we're having everyone donate gifts. Honestly, the easiest way is probably just to go through Amazon.
That's what I did.
If you don't have to donate a gift. I know money is tight, so just writing cards.
Yeah, it's amazing. Isn't that cute?
What is the name of the center where you were?
Renfrew in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia.
What does that stand for? I was wondering because it's like an odd name.
I don't know. It's very weird, but yeah, there's two centers. There's one in Philadelphia and there's one in Florida. You know?
Okay, so I went on Amazon and I did send a few things.
Yeah,
It was
thank
very
you.
easy. You literally just can go on Amazon. There's a list of things that Morgan recommended, that it was like healing crystals and coloring books.
Yeah.
And there's a list of things that they can have. Can I ask why? I don't want to.
So yeah, no. So sharp objects, a lot of the girls have cutting problems, so they
Okay.
can use it to self-harm themselves.
Okay.
It's a dual sender, so some of them are alcoholics. So if you give them, like, no one's going to give you Listerine, but I'm using that as an example. They can use that to get like drunk.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
check out the website for Renfrew in
For
Philadelphia.
the address, yeah.
And if you Google it, it will come up, and
if
you
you
can get
want-
some information on this.
Yeah, and if you want to donate, you just write Christmas donation, so they know what it is.
I actually sent some gifts and I sent them in your name.
Oh,
I
really?
did. I put
thank you.
From Morgan Maxwell, in honor of Morgan Maxwell. So that's a great thing to do. It's very simple. Go to Amazon. Morgan, you have it on your Facebook, the address and everything, where to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So you can friend Morgan Max, and we'll also post it on our page, the Living Rooms page. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we need to do that. We need to get better with our social media.
Yes, we do. You do.
But
Morgan,
that's
I-
so sweet.
It really is awesome, and I really have to take a moment to applaud you for
Yeah.
not only overcoming the struggles you were having
Yeah.
as such a young girl,
But to give back.
exactly, to rise above it, look back, and now pay it forward.
Yeah.
I applaud you. And
Thank you.
congratulations on your success.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
awesome. I
Well-
have to say, I'm so impressed with you young girls. I got it. Like last week, we had on Protect. Was it Protect Your
Protect Our
Breasts?
Breasts.
Protect Our Breasts. It was a group from. God, see, she remembers what I said last week. You think I remember what I said last week? It was Julia, my son's friend Julia, introduced us
Massachusetts, they were
to.
in.
It's from what?
They
Where
were
did she
in
go to school?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
I believe it was UMass.
UMass. And there was a young girl, she was 21 years old, and she was so involved in the breast cancer awareness. I was shocked. When I think what I was doing at 21 and 24,
Yeah.
I am so impressed with these young girls. It's unbelievable. They are so active in all these different things.
Well, I mean, a lot of people help me, so it's like if I could write a card for the holidays, like
Yeah.
that's the least I could do.
That's
you
so
know?
cool.
Like,
And also, like, probably stems from your fabulous mother, Joanne Maxwell. Shout out to her, 'cause she's
Yeah.
We love Joanne.
But that's really so great. I'm so happy for you. I'm
thank
happy
you.
that you're doing well.
yeah, I mean, it's still a process. It's, I say, in recovery, not recovered. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's hard, you know, but it's every day. It's day by day, you know.
So that's another thing that people should be aware of, especially women, because we tend to be so mean to each other. Here's this girl. She's absolutely beautiful, right? You would see her on the street, and you would be like, she's a rock star. She doesn't have a problem in the world. But at the end of the day, she has her own struggles.
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody has a story.
And we really have to be nice to people and not be so mean. I know it's easy to just make sarcastic comments and be mean, but we really should just continue to support each other and, you know, just lift each other up.
You never know what a person's going through. Like, even being in a center like that, I would look at people who was a straight A student, who was, you know, the popular girl in school, and we're all sitting together in one room.
Exactly.
You know what? So it's like, you never know.
It's true.
Like, the person behind you could be depressed or suicidal at the coffee shop.
I know. It's really sad. And you know what's crazy? With social media, and it's so easy to connect to people, there are so many lonely people in the world,
Yeah.
right? I think people are more lonely today than they were years ago.
That's like probably one of the number one causes of relapse. Because it's like,
Is
Depression.
loneliness?
yeah, because think about it, you're in a center, you have a problem, there's so many people around, you could just talk to them. I know that's something that I missed. Now you're home, and it's like, it's kind of up to you to say like, hey, like, I'm not feeling so good,
Yeah.
you know, and then there's no one around.
Don't you think there's also a level of not wanting others to know, or not wanting,
Being proud.
excuse me, not wanting to push onto somebody anything bad that you're feeling? So you put on this happy face, you get dressed, you put on some makeup, and you're dying inside, and nobody knows. And I mean, I
think we
experienced
all do that.
I
Absolutely.
experienced that with health issues, where I was really sick, and not very many people really knew the
Yeah.
level of where I was.
Yeah.
I mean, my husband knew, and a couple of friends, but most people thought everything was just fine, and I was not fine.
Well, I always said, I mean, I don't know if you could like curse on this show, but I always said like FINE stands for effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
I really like that. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah, you're effed up, you're insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
That's fantastic.
We have to do something with that, Morgan. We have to make something happen with that.
T-shirts.
I think
I want a T-shirt.
You know what? But it's funny because you see people on Facebook and they say Facebook is fake book. But I always say the reason why I don't post the negative stuff is because I don't want to put that energy out there and depress people. I mean, this past summer,
exactly,
my
that's what I'm
grandfather
saying.
died. My mother was sick. My son left for college, and I was a little down in the dumps. I'm not going to say I was, on the verge of a deep depression, but I was sad, but I still tried to be positive and post positive stuff. And when people called, yeah, everything's great, yeah, it's all good, but maybe we should share a little bit more of the sadness. Maybe we would find our people quicker.
One of the things that I've noticed is like being away is the pressure that everything is all good wasn't there. So you were able to connect with people more.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows it's not all good.
Yeah.
You're here.
Something's wrong.
But when you leave, it's like, how are you doing? Oh, great.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's my
And it's
point.
like, why? Like, why can't we just say, like, I'm feeling sad today? Like, why is that negative?
Yeah.
Like
You make a
everyone
good
has
point.
feelings.
You make a
you
good
know?
point.
Yeah, I think we worry about making others feel uncomfortable or they don't know what to say, and so we keep it within ourselves, and that's where it brews.
Yeah, and then you make
You're right.
yourself sick.
Exactly.
Well, one of my
Exactly.
New Year's resolutions for 2018 is to try to get together a really fabulous group of women that want to do fabulous things together that can share their pain as well. So, you know what? I know you're one of them. Your mom's one of them. We got Debbie Iena out there. Hopefully she's listening to us. I think we're just going to take a quick break. Bobby back there has a song for us, and we are going to come back with Tim Kramer from Waves of Hope.
You said we should start a rock band. I said that's a pretty cool plan. Whoa, whoa. You bring
like that.
Hi, we're back at the living room, and that was Lexi Casal. You're listening to her original song called Original that we love the words to and are using as our show's theme song at the moment.
Thank you,
And
Lexi.
Thank you so much for it. It's really a fun song. Lori Faye and I are here with Morgan Maxwell, who just told us about a great organization she's doing some work for. And we're now joined by Tim Kramer from a local organization out of Long Beach called Waves of Hope. And Tim's going to tell us how he got started with Waves of Hope, and started it actually, and what it's all about and where it's going. So
Awesome.
Welcome, Tim. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a great opportunity. It all started Hurricane Harvey. Hurricane Harvey made landfall August 25th. It was a Friday. And everyone throughout Long Island and throughout the country was obviously keeping an eye on what was going on and how horrific it was. And Hurricane Harvey was different from a normal hurricane, if you will, that once it made landfall, it meandered. It didn't
Stayed around, right?
It didn't go inland, and it created an enormous amount of rainfall, which added to the devastation. And so on Monday, I was watching TV in my kitchen, and just something just came over me that I just felt I needed to help or needed to do something instead of just sitting here watching TV.
You just felt it.
I just felt it was just like
that's
something that
great.
came over me. It was a weird thing, and so I put a post on Facebook saying that I'm gonna rent a truck, a tractor trailer, and we're gonna fill it full of hard goods. We went through Hurricane Sandy, so we knew specifically what these people were going to need, and so on and so forth. And I put the post on, and I had a friend of mine in the trucking business he was my first phone call. I put a phone call out to him, Jack Murphy, and asked him if he could get me a truck. And he said, you realize it's the end of the month, and it's Labor Day weekend. I needed a truck for that next Saturday. And I didn't realize any of this was going to be much of an issue. And
You were just trying to get it done.
Right. So then he said, look, I'll get you a truck. Somehow I'll make it happen. So I got that hooked up, and then I had to go pick my wife up at the train station, and she didn't know any of this, my wife Christina. And so I picked her up at the train station. We're coming back into Long Beach over the bridge, and I gave her the, guess what I did today?
While you were out.
Keeping it fresh, Tim.
Right.
While you were out, honey.
So guess what I did? I put this post on Facebook. I have a truck that we had rented, and we're going to fill it full of goods to send it down to Texas, to try and help these people out. And,
Can I just interrupt for a
sure.
second? Because we went right into Harvey, but I just wanted to preempt it with the fact that you're a Long Beach resident, and I live on the north side in Massapequa, so I really wasn't affected by Sandy other than the power.
Right.
But you live how far from the beach?
We
in Long Beach.
We live on Broadway, which
Which is
is
two
2 blocks from the beach.
So when Sandy hit, it was total devastation in Long Beach. It was.
Right.
It was.
there was-
I don't know if anybody knows, but Long Beach was decimated.
Right.
So
We
just
got
go-
28 inches of water in our house. There was no communication with the outside world. You had, there was no radio, there was no electricity. You
couldn't get in or out of Long Beach.
There was no food. There was, you couldn't take a shower. You couldn't cook. We were cooking on a camping stove. There was no heat. We had to go pillage firewood from places.
And I don't know if people realize this, but the military was in Long Beach. I have an
National
office in
Guard
Point
was there,
Lookout.
yep.
Yeah, so we were sequestered in Point Lookout. Point Lookout was devastated as well.
Right.
But I remember we had to run a business, so we were trying to, after the first few days, trying to get back in business. And I remember coming down into Long Beach, and you couldn't even get in or out. Like there
Right.
were tanks in Long Beach.
Right. There was no cell service. It was
It was war zone.
It was the strangest thing. It was like there was no electricity, so at night it was as dark could be.
Scary.
There was no street lights. There was no nothing. And
Yeah.
then every morning I'd wake up and start the generator to get our refrigerator cooled down again and get some lights going and things like that.
And it was cold too. It was right around
It was
Halloween.
cold. We got a little bit of a small snowstorm. so it was my youngest son got super sick, almost he almost
Oh,
died
that's
actually.
oh my gosh.
So we were able to get through that, and then slowly it started to come back.
Yeah, but how long did it take for Long Beach to come back?
Well,
It was a while.
that's a loaded question.
It's
in
still-
some,
it's still
I
evolving.
had a friend of mine that just moved back.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you go into the West End, there's still building going on.
Yeah.
So this is it's a long process.
So this was close to your
yeah.
heart because of this reason.
Exactly.
Right.
I was in Seaford yesterday, picking something up from someone down by the water,
Right.
all the way down, and I was blown away by the amount of homes that are still empty, boarded
Wow.
up,
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
raised. And
Out of sight, out of mind. We don't really
Yeah,
realize it.
5
but-
years later, and people are still out of their homes or not even able to return ever. If
Wow.
ever.
Still-
So it
still
touched
listing,
me. It really
yeah,
did, and I
yeah.
wasn't affected again, except like
Yeah.
you, except for the power.
So that's really what I just wanted to.
That was
that's
that
really
was-
what got you to have this.
Yeah, that got the heart.
That got your heart.
So
So you brought this truck to Texas.
we brought we put it out on social media, and the response was so overwhelming.
Isn't that awesome?
I mean, it was
People want to help.
people. Well, that was the thing. People want to help, and they really didn't know how to help, and we
Yeah.
gave them a way to help.
Yeah.
We gave them a way to help and a way to do it. And so, anyway, to make the long story short, one truck turns into 5 trucks.
Wow.
The response was just so
Wow.
so over the moon.
Amazing.
And what were you getting? How did you organize it all? What were the logistics? Like people were dropping off stuff at your house?
No, well, we contacted, again, it was Labor Day weekend, so to come up with a facility to do this in was difficult because all the city of Long Beach facilities were being used because it was Labor Day
Holiday
weekend.
weekend.
So I contacted Father Brian, who's right down the street from us, and he was gracious enough to let us use his gymnasium. And so we started collecting I made the post on Monday. We started collecting Tuesday. And by the end of the Tuesday, we had a couple of things. And then all of a sudden, Wednesday, it was, I always tell the story, we went from a corner boutique to Costco in one day.
Wow.
It was literally,
awesome.
we were blowing the roof off this place with boxes, and it was a warehouse. It turned into a warehouse.
Amazing.
So we made the call on Wednesday to get another truck, and then Thursday we needed another one, and then on Friday there was so much stuff in the gymnasium with water and cleaning supplies and all this stuff. We had to have 3 trucks come Friday night just to make room so we could put more stuff in on Saturday.
Wow.
Amazing.
So it
Oh my
was
God, I got chills.
it was a surreal experience, and I was telling Christine before we went on air that I made the post on Monday, and all our supplies were on site in Houston within the week.
Wow.
Within 1 week.
Fantastic.
Wow. And
Congratulations.
so you never did this before. You don't know what you do, and you get
No.
all this stuff. Now, where do you go when you get to Houston? Who do you contact?
Well, I had a friend of mine, a high school friend of mine. His name is Steve Whitert. I knew that he moved to Houston, and so I contacted him through Facebook, and he was my liaison in Houston, which was very important because we had 3 different sites. We had a YMCA, I checked out a YWCA, we had a couple of churches, and it was a moving target because Houston they released a levee, released a bunch of water. So one of our sites that we had lined up ended up flooding
Oh, wow.
after the fact.
Oh,
Wow.
always.
So then we had to get lined up with something else, and he was one of the few people down in Houston that didn't flood. So he was running around for us trying to get us sites to for the trucks to go to. So the trucks get there with a week to the day. It was amazing, and then in addition to the hard goods that we collected about $50,000 in gift cards.
Wow. Oh my God,
That-
that's so awesome.
And there was
I'm so proud of you, Tim. I'm going to cry.
yeah.
Really,
And there was
really
a,
fantastic.
What your son? How many kids do you have?
two
You-
boys.
Your boys must be so proud of you.
Yeah, they're great kids, and
And to be, were
12,
they a
old are
part
they?
of that?
12 and 7 to be a part of it. To
Oh
be,
my God! Did they go with you? No, they didn't go.
They
with
didn't
you.
go with us. There was we ended up flying down to hand out the gift cards, and
And they came.
they did not go with us.
Okay.
There was a group of 12. We had a team of 12, and everyone on the team had a specific role, and it was very important to have all 12 of us. And we ended up going to Rockport, which is the town that the hurricane made landfall in.
Okay.
Small town, beach town. We wanted to have like a beach to beach type of thing.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
And
That's
you know,
great.
Small. It's about 10,000 people, and we were able to establish a contact in Rockport. So we met up with this girl. Her name was Melissa Crowley, and she kind of escorted us around to different areas that families that knew that needed some extra help, and we divided the gift cards up into $500 envelopes, and we would have what we dubbed roll-ups, and we would roll up on people who were literally hammering,
I
putting
love
plywood
it.
on their house.
Did you videotape all of this? I wish.
I
Do
wish
you
we had
have
gotten
some?
some of the film. Yeah.
Well, we created a documentary about it.
Okay.
We had a videographer go with us. My wife Christine is a photographer.
Yep. She's done other work.
And we created this whole documentary. We're going to premiere that in probably March.
Oh, okay. So it's
Okay.
not ready
We'll
yet.
have
Well,
you
maybe
back.
we'll
Yeah.
have you come back and show us some of that.
So, but one of the funniest stories, we'd roll up on these people and we would get their story. Did you leave? Did you stay? How did you survive the storm? What kind of damage? We would try and get as much information as we could, and then what we would do, we'd say, here's $500 to help you, get back on your feet. And every one of these people would just melt, melt, crying. It was
They
it was
lost
surreal.
everything. Oh my
So
God.
emotional.
I would
So-
probably cry giving it to them.
Right. It was
Emotional.
a spiritual thing. So we roll up in this guy. He's in a tank top, big Houston, tough guy, and he had a couple of hunting dogs next to him. It was kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
So everybody in the truck's like, "Oh my, you got to get out of here! This guy's crazy!" So I'm like, "I got this." So I put the car in park. I get out and I go up and talk to this guy. Turns out to be the nicest guy you could ever want to meet in the world.
See?
So
We make
guy's
judgment.
name is Clay Schmeltikoff, and so we ended up getting a story. We gave him $500 in gift cards in the envelope, and he looks at us and he goes, "I'm going to make sure this gets in the right hands." So here he is standing in front of his house, all kinds of damage,
Destroyed.
and he's gonna
He's gonna give it away.
give it away.
People
So-
So, are good.
So
There are
it
a lot
was
of good
just
people
there's
out
so many
there.
stories within the story, and that's why we created the documentary. That it turned out to be such an amazing experience. It really was.
So people, so you've given away all that you've gotten so far.
Yes.
Right? Are you still giving? Are you still in contact? How do you want to get charity? You want gift cards?
Well-
we want to tell people. People want to give. It's the holidays, right? You
Right.
don't want to write a check to a charity. You don't know who the people are. If there's a corporate person getting $150,000 salary, I'm assuming that this is a nonprofit organization.
I was about to ask if you're a
Right.
501c3.
Well, we just got recognized by the state of New York, so we are a business now.
Okay.
The 503c is not established yet. It takes a
Okay.
couple of months. But
Okay.
throughout the Houston and Rockport process, we created this nonprofit organization called Waves of Hope, and our purpose is to come in after the first responders have left. And
Okay.
we now are collecting Christmas toys for the Napa Valley forest fire victims
Yeah.
and first responders, and we're going to fill a truckload of Christmas toys
And get them down there.
Get it
and
to
ship
help
them out
yeah.
to Napa Valley.
Okay,
That's
so
excellent.
we talked about this. Tim and I had spoken about this last week or 2 weeks ago when he stopped in my office, which is how we ended up here today. Is it better for people to get a toy to you, or would you just prefer a check or gift cards? Because now you got to pay to ship the toys.
Right. Well, the
So-
truck, the truck is going regardless.
Okay.
So all the above.
Okay, so
You know,
if
and
somebody
really-
wanted to get you a toy, how would they do it?
Bring it to St. Mary's. We're collecting today and tomorrow till
In Long Beach?
In Long Beach.
Bring the toy to St.
It's on-
Mary's in Long Beach?
It's on Lincoln and Monroe. I'm sorry, Monroe and Park.
Okay, and if they want to get you gift cards, could they mail them to you?
They
I
could
would
bring it-
certainly have no problem collecting from Massapequa residents. If you want to get in touch with Christina or I would gladly take them and get them to Tim.
Make
Right,
sure
they
if
can
not,
bring them to
Tim
St.
gets them.
Mary's. You can go on our website. It's called wavesofhope.org, and you can donate that way.
That's probably the best
Okay,
way.
that's easy. That's a most simple way.
Wavesofhope.org.
Right.
Okay.
And we're on Facebook. We have a web page. We actually got our approval for our business on Wednesday.
Congratulations.
So
That's
so
awesome.
we're up and running now, and and it's a
See,
wonderful
you never
thing.
know.
That's great.
You could just, one day just be living your life, and the next day you get that lightning bolt from wherever you think you got it. I would say
Right.
God, and here you are. I am so proud of you, Tim. I'm
Thank you.
proud
I
to know
appreciate
you,
that. Thank you.
and I'm so proud of you. I think it's awesome, and I think we have someone here who wants to give you some gift cards. Our sponsor is At My Tax.
Tim, we wanted to donate 10 $25 gift cards.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, At My Tax.
Appreciate that.
Peter
Thank you,
Cohen,
Peter.
my business partner and male BFF, and you got to get in there and lean down and get in the camera. You know what? Peter Cohen's also
Peter
a
from
Long
At
Beach
My Tax?
resident and was greatly
We're getting
affected by
cozy
Sandy.
here.
So
Yeah.
you know what? When you go through it, you have a heart for it. I can't even begin to tell you how proud I am of you. I really am.
Well, the best thing about, Peter and I have been friends for, I don't know, 25 years.
Probably that
You
one
know,
at least.
and that's priceless. So
Thanks,
thank
Tim.
you very
Feel
much.
the same way.
Yeah.
Thank you so
And
much.
Thank
Lori
you.
too. You and I
Yeah,
have been friends for 10 years.
Yep,
so.
I've known you a long time, and I think it's a fabulous thing. I'm really,
Yeah.
really proud of you. Waves of Hope, guys. It's a local charity. You can't.
Grassroots.
Your grassroots, and your money's going to a good place. And again, Morgan Maxwell's charity. You have to say it. I can't pronounce it.
Renfrew.
Renfrew. And we are going to put everything on the living room page. So please go on. It's so easy to donate to both. If you can go on Amazon and get the address for Renfrew, I did it. It took me 5 minutes. You just pick a few gifts, even if it's $25, $50, very simple. And wavesofhope.org. That's the way, that's probably the best way to do it.
The simplest way, yeah.
Thank you so much. We will be right back to the living room to see what Christine's going to cook up for us.
Given what we know about the benefits of filing a property tax grievance, experts agree it should be mandatory. Use a professional. Choose Zap My Tax. File at zapmytax.com. Deadline approaching.
Right, so this is how we roll here at the living room. 1 minute we're talking about
Okay.
charities, the next minute Christina's cooking.
Oh, we're back.
So Christine and I were talking about little things that we could do just for the holidays that would be a little bit light and airy, and I drink and she cooks. So it's a perfect combination. So I don't know what you're doing, but let me know what I need to do for you.
All right, well, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, I just wanted to show you a few quick, easy things. You've decided to have a few people over, and all kinds of monkey wrenches got thrown into your week, your day, your plans, your budget. And that doesn't mean you still can't have a great little get-together that will impress your friends a little bit, will be fun, will be tasty, and won't really break the budget totally in half. And it's just not about the food, really.
Yeah.
We have to have our cocktails.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we are going to start with a cocktail. And again, it's not about the food. It's about being with the people you love and celebrating the joy of the season. So we're going to start with a really quick little cocktail that you can put together in seconds. And you don't need to buy a whole liquor cabinet. That really kills the budget. Have one drink, have some beer, wine, a pitcher of fruit water, and that's good. Unless, of course, it's your dad and he has to have his 7 and 7 like mine did. Then you'll have the 7 and 7 for your dad. My dad used to keep a bottle of, he wasn't a big drinker at all, but he liked 7 and 7 now and then. And he would keep a bottle of 7-Up in the refrigerator, and we were not allowed to touch it. He would actually mark it to see
Oh
if
my
any
God.
of it had been
Oh, my
taken.
father was bad with the ice cream.
Yeah, the only person who could drink it was my dear best friend Christine Devanzo from junior high. We've been friends since, and she was the prettiest girl in school, still is the prettiest girl around, and she would open the refrigerator in front of my dad and just take a chug out of the 7-Up, and he wouldn't say a word to her. But I'm digressing. So we're going to make a quick little cocktail today.
Bottom line is pop the champagne, please.
Exactly. Okay, so does somebody know how to open this without taking out someone's eye?
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, excellent. So I got this jar. We are going to make a cherry vanilla sparkling. We will get these recipes up on the website
Oh
for
my
you.
gosh.
So I got this jar of marinating cherries, and I took about half of them at home. We don't have cooking facilities here.
Not
I
yet.
took about half of them at home, and with the little immersion blender, your bullet, your blender, or you could even just mash them, with a heavy utensil of some sort. And I mashed them into a little bit of a puree. Now, if
I just want to say, I am so impressed.
such a
It's
Martha
not even funny.
Stewart.
Well, this gets better.
And
This
you know,
gets so
the
better.
kicker of it is that Christine and I have known each other for years, but we don't know each other really well. But the more I get to know her, the more I freaking love her. She's like serving me booze at 10:30 in the morning.
So then you're going to take, a good heaping teaspoon, tablespoon, however
love
much
this.
you like, and you're going to put that in the bottom of, once again, dollar store champagne flutes. They're plastic too
Oh
for
my
$1,
God.
quite
Oh my
honestly.
It looks glass
So
to
we are
me.
sticking
know.
with the budget. I love the dollar store.
You know what? I'm going in
Unfortunately,
today.
I spend $30 when I go in there. Okay, so you're going to put some in the bottom of each.
Look
you're
at
gonna
Tim.
get
Tim is like the
X-
man.
Oh, it was a screw up.
Yes. No danger.
Oh, that is so funny. That is so
Right.
cute.
I was gonna say, I didn't hear
I
it
like
pop.
that.
Then we got some vanilla flavored vodka.
Wow.
And you could use whipped cream vodka too. And you're gonna just
Oh my God, I am not
put a
working out after the show as I thought I was. That's
Put
not
a little
happening.
bit.
Right now, my
I
wife is
didn't.
saying, I wish I would have come.
She should have come.
Unfortunately, I didn't measure very well, so we're gonna have 2 that are loaded and
Oh
2
my
that
God.
are virgin.
Okay, that's
Then
okay.
you're gonna top it with some prosecco, some champagne, some sparkling wine, whatever's on sale.
I am loving this.
Oh my gosh.
And you're gonna top those off.
Tim, your
And you
wife
can
has to
make-
come back.
If you
Yes,
make a whole
absolutely.
pitcher of this,
That's the best way to
I'm
do it.
just
All
not
right,
measuring
that's
very
all right.
well. That's all right. I'm good.
Tim has to drive
Yeah,
out.
I got to
Tim has to drive.
that.
Yeah, take that one. I'll take the one with just a little bit. Wait. I forgot the best part.
Notice me, I'm not
know.
fighting it.
Then-
I'm
then
like, I'll have
take-
the one with the booze.
Take a couple of whole cherries and
I've
just
had an
float
Arbonne
them on
bar this
top.
morning.
And you are
Christine,
good
this is so
to
pretty.
go. A
Morgan,
vanilla bean stirrer
Can you grab
would
me
be
my phone?
really great
Oh
for
my God,
presentation.
I have to take a picture of this.
If you make a whole
No,
pitcher,
thank
go
you.
put your puree in the bottom and then do, I don't know,
Wait, I'm
like
taking
a third, and a third on the other ingredients. And cheers, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy
Bless.
Hanukkah.
Oh my
Christmas.
God, Happy Hanukkah, Merry
Cheers,
Christmas.
thank you so much.
Here's to Waves of Hope. Here's to all of us, PC. You can come have a sip if you want.
Oh my God, that's
Okay.
so good.
Okay. Now, the
Oh my
next
God,
thing.
this is deadly.
Is it
Wow,
good?
That is good.
This is deliciolio.
Excellent.
My friend always
All
says
right.
it's never too early and it's never too late.
That's
5 o'clock
and I like your
somewhere.
friends.
Somewhere.
I really,
5
really like
o'clock
your friends.
somewhere. Okay, next one. Super, super quick and easy. And I've actually been doing
I
this.
am like
Dressing
beside
from under
myself.
the table.
I've actually been doing this for years. We don't have cooking facilities here.
Oh my God, Chris, I'm going to
dip.
build you a kitchen.
Dip is a nightmare, I think, at a party. It ends up on the table. It just makes a mess. So, back to the dollar store. 24 little plastic shot glasses for $1.
I
You're
love
gonna I put
this.
too much. I'm not measuring well today.
That's okay.
You put a little bit of salad dressing in the bottom. I'm going to redo this one.
This is such a cute idea. She's got it all
Okay.
going on.
All right, so we've got 2 now. And hang on to that for me, Tim. We're going to use
like
those
Mary
in a minute.
Poppins.
Wow.
Then we are going to put a celery
Oh my God.
stick.
This is so
a
cute.
carrot.
Are you people watching this?
You
Wait, you can't. We need a camera like over you because this is so cute.
You can put red pepper strips,
Tim, hold
string
that.
beans,
How
whatever you want.
cute is that?
A tomato.
Oh my
How about
gosh.
opening? Oh, we got that. A tomato.
I love this.
and a little mozzarella
Wait,
ball.
I'm taking pictures for you.
like that.
Oh my
And
God, that is so cute.
Give it a little sprinkle of pepper just
Oh.
to give
Oh
it a
my
little
God.
color. And there you go.
Wait, one more, Tim.
Line those up.
That is just so cute to put out on a table. I love it.
You can line
How
those
much
up
do you
on a
charge?
tray. Okay. This is, again, dollar store tray, dollar store wreath.
This
Fill
is
up a
just-
tray with this,
Beautiful.
and you are good to go.
I'm
How's our
taking
time?
another picture.
All
I
right.
think we have a few minutes.
Okay.
I think we are.
I have
we
a
are
couple more
okay.
things I want to tell you about. I'm going to. Okay. This is no. I got two more. This is one of my favorite things ever. This is an olive spread that people who love olives adore.
We may not have time for just asking. We
Okay.
might have to push that off. I'm getting the 2-minute warm up.
Oh gosh. Okay. Chop up a can of olives, a jar of drained roasted red peppers. Mix them together with some garlic, salt, and pepper.
It smells so
Put them in a pretty little bowl with some crackers. And done. Takes you 2 minutes, costs you next to nothing.
That is fabulous.
Now, the last thing that I do want to get to, I do have another one, but we're gonna miss that. I want to tell you about saving money. The thrift store. Look at these cute little dishes. Thrift store. 50
It's like the freaking
cents
clown
each.
car. She keeps pulling stuff out.
Okay. What you're gonna do for the quickest and easiest and most delicious dessert ever? You're gonna get some Cool Whip, or if you really are feeling Martha Stewart, you can.
Boy, you really did your homework last night, Christine.
Yeah, you can.
And here I was, like, thinking, wow.
You can
She's
whip
coming
up
with one.
some fresh whipped cream for this. So I'm trying to get this in fast. So you are going to mix in a bowl
Christine, you are.
Cool Whip, or fresh whipped cream, whatever you prefer. Thank you, Morgan. And
This is live on the living room. I just want to point out, this is craziness at its best. People who are listening to us on the radio and not necessarily watching Facebook Live, Christine has pulled out no less than 24 items from under the table. Okay?
a can of pumpkin pie mix. You are going to mix a couple of dollops of that with your Cool Whip. Just mix that together really well. Now,
She's
I
working.
taste as I cook because I don't know, really. I'm not going to really taste now because then I'd have to stick the spoon back
That's
into
one of the
bowl.
differences. I drink while I cook. She tastes while she cooks.
Yeah, that's why I battle a weight problem my whole life.
Listen.
Okay, so you've mixed together Cool Whip and pumpkin pie. You'll taste it to see if it needs a little bit more pumpkin pie. You dollop that right into a cute little
Oh my gosh.
dish.
Something so simple.
I know.
You give it a cinnamon stick
And what I
and a
want
little sprinkle of cinnamon.
Christine, you
God.
are, oh my God, that is
You
just
just made
absolutely
dessert
adorable.
in about
Wow.
30 seconds.
All right.
And look how impressive. Think about that on a beautiful tray,
That
all
is-
lined up. You've
that is
impressed
stunning.
everybody.
So people who are listening to us on the TuneIn app, or you're not seeing the Facebook Live, we are going to post some pictures of what Christine just did
it's
because
perfect.
you have to see it. She is amazing. We don't have time for just asking, or do we? Are we out of time? Well, we just wanted to go through. This morning I posted on pictures. So just to go back to the lifestyle by Little Guys Gal and the lesson by Little Guys Gal, we talked about how I don't exchange gifts with my husband anymore for the holidays. We've been married 23 years. We're together 25 years. I allow him to buy me stock. So I posted on Facebook this morning, how long are you married and do you exchange gifts? So Tim, how long are you married?
We are married
Oh, you better get it right.
14 years.
You have to think
What's
about
your
that a
anniversary?
little too
15
much.
years. 15 years. And we do exchange gifts, yes.
You do, you
Yes.
do. Do you have a price limit on it?
Yeah, I would say we're probably within $500.
Okay, that's nice. Does she usually tell you what she wants, or do you just go out on a limb and just get her a vacuum?
It's usually Jewel. We have a good friend of ours that works for H.L. Gross in Garden City.
Very
And,
nice.
we
That's a nice
get
friend
hooked
to
up.
have.
Yeah,
I just made a
so-
hookup.
Yeah.
Very nice. So that's nice that you still do that after
Yeah.
all these years.
Yeah. So
We're married 33 years, and you know, it really depends on the times and where we are. When the kids are little, really most of it obviously goes towards them. My husband is so good when we do give more gifts. He is so good about looking at what I'm going through, looking at what I'm doing or being involved in, and finding things that he thinks will make me
Enrich your life.
happy.
Enrich your life.
Last year he gave me, and I haven't even used them yet. I like to paint, and I think I go through spurts where I paint a lot, or I might not paint for a year, and I haven't painted this year. But last year I was painting a lot, and he bought me the most beautiful set of paintbrushes that made me cry.
Aww.
And so he really thinks and looks at what I'm doing, so I appreciate him for that.
So I posted on Facebook this morning, and I have PC behind the board here. He's going to help me because I refuse to put reading glasses on in front of anybody. So what does it say on my feed? What are people saying about how long are they married and do they exchange?
Overwhelmingly, people are married a long time for the response.
Come into the camera here. Here, sit right down here. Let's read.
Overwhelmingly.
Do as I say and nobody will get hurt.
Overwhelmingly, Your posts are from people who've been married a long time, mostly over 20 years.
And they exchange?
And almost everybody is exchanging.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, Benny commented he's married almost 26 years, and if he still wants to live in the house, they still exchange gifts.
So I have
All
a
right,
feeling
Benny
I'm not with
Rizzuti.
I am the minority. So I bet, you know what, Tommy? I'll send you a link.
Yes, Tommy is watching.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, he said he had Wi-Fi. He's on his way to Vegas. Okay. You know what? I'm wrong. I thought that most people that would be married over 20 years would lose the luster for it and just say, I don't need anything. Okay, I'm wrong. So, guys, we're going to be posting some stuff on what you could possibly buy your wife now. I think that's something we have to get into.
Maybe next week. Maybe they'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that next week. Tim,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
Really
the
a
opportunity.
pleasure.
Thank you so
Meet
much,
you.
Morgan.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Morgan. I think might be back. Oh, there it is. Waves of Hope Toy Drive. Listen, wavesofhope.org and Renfew, and we will be more diligent about putting things on our page. The living room. Christine, I love you.
I love you,
Oh
Lauren.
my
It was
God.
so much fun.
Oh
Good
my
time
God. Great
today.
day. We'll see you next Friday. Have a great day.
Have a
great
wonderful day,
weekend.
everyone. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Outstanding.
Given what we know about the benefits of filing a property tax grievance, experts agree it should be mandatory. Use a professional. Choose Zap My Tax. File at zapmytax.com. Deadline approaching.